Fallout 3 contains several in-game radio stations. The most diverse and important station is Galaxy News Radio. Many players of the evil persuasion know that you can kill 3-Dog and he will be replaced by the technician Margaret. She is not a charismatic person and has very little to say, seeming to not enjoy her new announcing duties. She also never appears in person and therefore cannot be killed. Once 3-Dog is dead, you're stuck with Margaret. What most players do not know is that under certain circumstances, a GNR will become a number station. A number station is a station that broadcasts an unusual coded message. Many of these exist in real life, and some hypothesize that they are a nuclear retaliation control network. Simply check Wikipedia for more information about these odd broadcasts, as they relate to the real world. Back to Fallout 3. No one is really sure which actions are needed to hear the number station in Fallout 3. It appears that you must kill 3-Dog, because no one has reported hearing the number station with him still alive. It also appears that you have to skip over the quest, Galaxy News Radio, where you help boost the signal so that the station can broadcast further than just the immediate DC area. This is easy enough to do with either a speech check, or simply using the Fallout wiki to look up where to go to next and advance the main plot. Finally, you definitely have to destroy Raven Rock. This is the actual trigger to turn GNR into a number station, and it will remain such for the rest of the game. The vast majority of the players who perform these 3 actions still continue hearing the standard GNR broadcasts, so there must be several more requirements the community has yet to isolate. If you're lucky enough to have hit upon the right set of circumstances, just after destroying Raven Rock, you will get the message "Radio signal lost," and a few seconds later, "Radio signal found." You cannot, however, actually listen to GNR just yet, because you didn't boost the signal and are out of range of the broadcast at the exit of Raven Rock. Luckily, Raven Rock is situated at the mountains and is right near one of the few places outside DC that can get high enough to catch the signal. So far, the confirmed location to hear GNR number signals are within the immediate DC area, obviously. This is true for the regular GNR throughout the game. At the top of the Ferris wheel at Point Lookout. On the tops of some of the SATCOM arrays you can climb in the northwestern map area. On the roof of Tenpenny Tower, though this may be within normal broadcast range anyway. Feel free to playtest and get back to me on this. On the highest point of the broken bridge around Arifu, again, maybe within broadcast range anyway. On some of the highest points of the mountain tops in the area near Raven Rock. This is obviously your easiest chance to first listen to the number station. When you tune in, you will hear an old familiar voice, 3-Dog, despite the fact that you have killed him earlier. However, you will quickly notice that he does not seem to be in character. So, I guess it's not technically 3-Dog, but just a voice actor, Eric Dollums. He reads a series of numbers in a monotone, depressed sounding voice. He always recites a list of single digits between 9 and 12 characters long. For example, 93791720334. He never uses a multi-digit number like 11 or 40. These numbers are followed by widely varying lengths of Morse code. This is then followed by the song "I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire." All the other music tracks seem to be inactive on the number station. The Morse code was the easiest part of the mystery to crack, as the code is widely available and many people actually know it off by heart. We quickly had a list of a great number of messages in English. Some sounded completely mundane and even comical, such as "Wash the car today, maybe Chinese for dinner," or "Have you watched my YouTube video yet? I uploaded myself kicking bums into nuts." You may be saying, but wait, YouTube doesn't exist in the Fallout universe. And you're right. As far as we could tell, all of these messages sounded like they were based off in our reality, somewhere near the present day. Some of the messages, however, are quite sinister, such as "The Queen has died today. The world mourns as on days like these. We are all Brits." Or, "I can't believe they're actually done it. Not long left. The noise. I can't take the noise anymore. I have a pistol in the attic." Just recently, a player on the wiki forums noticed a message that brought light to the meaning of the messages. He was reading a thread that collected all known messages transposed from Morse to English, and saw the line, 120552822010. What are you talking about? You'll be missed. He realized this referred to the recent deaths of Gary Coleman, and then quickly realized the numbers were the time and date of death. He immediately scanned through the messages to try and find more examples of this apparent future telling by a game that's more than a year old. The next message he read shocked him and pushed him to enlist the aid of the others to decipher the codes. The message was 9454202010. Accident in the Gulf, several dead. Oil spill apparently averted. He realized this was the BP explosion and the erroneous Day 1 assessment that the well was not leaking. From this point on, all numbers will be transcribed as times and dates. All times were given in-game in military format and remain so in this document. Numerous members of the Fallout Wiki message board began looking over the messages to see what else we could learn. We quickly found that most of the dates were after the game had been released, yet, oddly, some were from the past. 22/15, April 15th, 1865. He's dead, and blame will probably be placed on the actor, Booth. Johnson better not cheat me out of the payment. This shed new doubt on the official version of the Lincoln assassination. As the community quickly started piling up interpretations of the messages, the mods of the site summarily banned everyone who had posted in, or even read the thread. All reference to the number station was removed from the Fallout Wiki, and filtering software was put in place to prevent reposting of any relevant information. A few people, however, are trading emails and slowly finishing the translation of the remaining messages and putting dates to the existing ones. The Queen has died today. The world mourns, as on days like these, we are all Brits. 4/2, March 19th, 2014. Have you watched my YouTube video yet? I uploaded myself kicking bums in the nuts. 24/16, December 24th, 2012. I can't believe Britney's actually won an Oscar. 21/33, February 27th, 2023. I can't believe they've actually done it. Not long left. They were warned, but they just have to keep pushing the boundaries of science. The noise. I can't take the noise anymore. And the light. Dear God. The universe is slowly unraveling around us. I'm not going to wait for death. I have a pistol in the attic. This is actually the only message not preceded by a string of numbers. It may be worth noting that the latest date on any of the messages is 1/27, July 6th, 2027. Six-legged grape centaur is a name given to a bizarre-looking unidentified creature that somewhat resembles a centaur from Greek mythology. It appeared in the following eyewitness account posted by an anonymous user on November 2008. I'd like to start off by saying that I don't have a clue why I'm posting this. Maybe I'm afraid of dying or something. The events described in this story happened a month and a half ago in Shenandoah, West Virginia, although I typed this up about 2 weeks ago. I just haven't had really the guts to post this until what happened yesterday. The story starts in late September, when my family went to go visit our relatives, who invited us to celebrate one of them getting like $2,000 in some scratch-off lottery thing. They live in this really dirty part of Shenandoah that people from Charlestown, Shepherdstown, and Ranson, basically the least rednecky parts of West Virginia, like to call Squalor Holler. It's up on the mountain, and exactly like how everyone pictures it when they hear about it. Nothing but ramshackle shacks, rusty rebuilt trailers, everything covered in decades-old Christmas decorations because they're all too busy being smelly rednecks to even clean up. Real deliverance crap, just no rivers or canoes. The relatives we were visiting are absolutely confirmed inbreeds, old cousins marrying each other. We don't refer to them as aunt, uncle, whatever, just relatives. Not terrible people or anything, just absolutely cartoonish, depressingly hilly-billy stereotypes. So, anyway, we're up here in this godforsaken trailer. It sucks. There's like 8 of them, plus me, my dad, my mom, and my sister. About 2 hours in, my mom takes my cell phone so that I can focus on the family time together. Which is crap. All we did was watch TV and eat dinner. After like 6 hours of this, about 10 minutes before we were supposed to leave, it starts raining. We know how treacherous the roads can get up on the mountain, so we decide to wait for the rain to die down. Flash forward 2 hours later, it's dark as hell, 10 o'clock, and there's a flood warning for the area. I have my phone back by this time. No reception, of course. I'm playing Tetris and Texas Hold'em and stuff, when suddenly, I hear my dad start losing his mind in the next room. I walk over, and it turns out that they let slip that they'd buried this kid Thomas outside, and apparently were afraid the rain would wash up his body or something. The kid was like 6, he was attacked by a dog, and they never told the cops. Just buried him like he was a family pet. My dad's flipping, and rightfully so, because, you know, we live in the 21st century and all. So, our relatives say they'll sort it out in the morning. My parents tell me and my sister to stay in the same room as them during the night, and we do. None of us really suspected that they had killed Thomas or anything, since they're really peaceful. They didn't even own any guns, aside from this one old Timmy double-barrel shotgun they held on a mantle. Nevertheless, we were creeped out, and intended to tell the cops in the morning once we got to town. So, it was like 3 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. Power had gone out for the 5th time or so, and I'm not able to charge my dead phone. Worst part is, I can see little Thomas's grave right outside the window. Little cross on it and everything, and I assumed that the kid couldn't have been buried deep at all, since they were so worried about him just washing up out of the grave. So, I was just fixated on it. Kept being drawn to looking out the window. And then, I saw the worst thing in my life. Rapey. Something was creeping through the trees toward the house. I stared at it for a while, but couldn't get a good look at it since it was raining and the brush was so thick. For a few minutes I assumed it was 2 really pale horses, kind of ambling through the woods side by side. But then, it walked into the moonlight, and I saw that it was all one thing. Like a kind of human torso, but wider. It finally stepped into full view, and I saw it had something like 6 legs, kind of somewhere between beetle's legs and horse's legs. 2 arms right where someone would normally have them, but they were about half a foot longer than any normal human arm. It had a bald head, but the face looked like some sort of a bizarre masquerade ball kind of mask. This clenched up, furrowed forehead, and a nose that looked sort of like a crow's or a raven's beak. It didn't have eyes either, just like the depressions where eyes would go. It looked like it had a human mouth underneath its proboscis. What still strikes me to this day is that it seemed to have a penis too, like right on the abdomen where a normal person would have. The thing moved sort of gracefully, and made these soft thumping noises when it moved. It must have been like 7 or 8 feet tall, but sounded like it weighed maybe only 150 pounds at most. It starts walking towards Thomas's grave, and then I finally snap out of whatever trance I was in and just scream. My mom is the first to wake up, and I tell her to look out the window. She rushes over and doesn't really seem to understand what she is looking at. After a minute though, the thing bends down and starts pawing at the grave with its hands. My dad and Jasper rush in, and Jasper just loses his shit, screams like a little girl, runs back out of the house, yelling for his father, yelling, "It's outside! It came and it's outside!" I look back and see the thing is digging furiously at the ground, kicking up huge mounds of dirt. I hear these sounds of feet running around the house. I think they were looking for the shotgun. The thing reaches into the hole and grabs up what I assume was Thomas's body by the leg in one of the hands. The thing kind of galloped back into the woods, snapping all the branches, and then, that's when we all hear it. A kid crying. The sound of a child sobbing and crying from the direction that the thing took off. We left as soon as the rain let up, at about 5 a.m. I don't even think we told anyone at the house. Drove straight back to Ransom, only stopping for gas. No one said a word to each other. My family refuses to speak about what happened. I tried to bring it up once, just to make sure it was real. My dad told me to shut up, so I did. I typed this up about 3 weeks after it happened, but just saved it to a notepad file, and left it alone. Never mentioned it to any of my friends or anything. Just tried to erase it from my mind by getting absolutely drunk whenever my thoughts lingered on it. It mostly worked, up until yesterday. See, I work at this gas station in Ranson from 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. I work the register, keep the place clean, and take out the trash. Yesterday, when I was bringing the trash bags over to the back of the building for the dude in the morning to take care of, I heard what I had assumed to be some junkie messing around in the dumpster. I yelled at whoever it was a couple of times to get out before I called the cops, but as I walked towards the source of the noise, I suddenly heard those same footsteps, that soft thump, hooves or feet or whatever they were. I turned right around and went back to the store and hid behind the counter. I look over at the outside security monitor and see some kind of movement just off screen. Something huge casting a shadow and moving. Catch a glimpse of, I don't know, an elbow or something? A pale limb, darting in and out of view. It had to have been the same thing. I waited for it to leave, and after a while, it did. I woke up behind the counter at 6 a.m. this morning to my manager giving me this look like I'm a drug addict or something. Went home, typed the rest of this up. And that's about it.